Race number 36 of the Gatorade Cup Series, season number 7, heads to the 2.66 mile Talladega Superspeedway for the running of the Camping World 500. How will this impact the chase with 3 drivers tied atop the points list? On the pole, we have the 75 of Steve Larker, 2 is outside the 48 of Isaac Nichols. Then 30 of Andrew Miller, 4th is Luke Rainey, rounding out the top 5, Stephen Baker. In 6th, we have Levi Shones. 7th is Jonathan Rains, Benny Watson in 8th, 9th is Alexander Rowe, and Nathan Stapleton rounds out the top 10. For the rest of the field, you have Jonathan Buford with Greg Lee. Then there's Jay Jefferson and TJ Hanley, along with Jake Galloway and Riley Sampson. Then you have Colton Yo and Carter Friesen, along with Eli Bright and Steve Morgan. Then there's Max Anderson and Louis Jactavo. Stephen Taylor with Larry Bouchard Jr. Then you have Sebastian Kukulon with Jeff Wright. Diego Yepes with Danny Lloyd. Then you have Patrick Smith and Tyler Fink. Trey Rainey with Jake West. Then you have Dale Lightning and Taylor Bryan Price. Griffin Lynn and Code Luigi. Then you have Max Johnson and Justin Zidell. Marcus Sachi with Jack Marshall. And in the final row, you have John Gant with the 77, 2's outside the 6 of Carson Bowers. That is your starting lap for the Camping World 500 at Talladega. Let's get this thing going with our starting command.
I'm Staff Sergeant Proto with the soldiers of the 1st Cavalry Division. Gentlemen, start your engines!
All right, everybody, just like what we talked about in the transporter, nice and easy. It's a long race, settle in, be nice and smooth. Go out there and kick some butt tonight. This is your house. Let's prove it to them.
Our field of 42 cars rolls off the starting grid here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Race number 10 of the chase, the 3rd to last race of the season. A race where unpredictability is its middle name. Talladega. Anything can happen. 3 and 4 wide racing all day. The big one lurking around every corner. Could happen on lap 1, it could happen on lap 15, it could happen on lap 29. It might not happen at all. Chances are it will with this 3 and 4 wide racing, but who knows. Coming into this race after Rockingham, 8 drivers have a realistic shot at getting the championship in the Gatorade Cup Series. However, Talladega will change that number. Will it be higher? Will it be lower? We'll find out after 29 laps as the big 3 coming into this race in the Gatorade Cup Series, TJ Hanley, Stephen Taylor, Carter Friesen, all tied atop the points list. That's obviously going to change after today, but who will leave with the points lead? As the pace car is in, Steve Larker and Isaac Nichols hit the restart zone, and it's out. We are racing in the Camping World 500 at the Talladega Superspeedway. From the pole, Steve Larker will lead lap 1 as they shuffle 3 and 4 right behind cars fanning out down the backstretch, trying to make moves to get down to the bottom lane. Greg Lee gets all the way to 2nd as we've only started the 2nd lap. As they come off of turn number 2 down the backstretch, TJ Hanley, one of the big 3 that we mentioned, is up to 3rd. He's going to be going for 2nd down the backstretch. And this is a great camera angle from the front stretch, looking at the backstretch to see which lane has to run, which cars have run. Where they can see Greg Lee got a great run on the top side to get clear of Hanley as Riley Sampson made a big move. And now the front 2 get clear away. Steve Larker, Greg Lee are right now 1, 2 at the front. The field right now 3 wide. It'll take them a little bit to get 4 wide to get that, adrenaline pumping to where they can make those moves. See the field spread out a little bit at the back. That will obviously change. They'll get formed back together again. Cars break away single file at the front. Steve Larker leads Greg Lee, Riley Sampson, Jake Galloway around Talladega. Here comes the 18, Riley Sampson to the bottom lane. Cars making moves already. Carter Friesen, the 38 coming low. Jake Galloway blocks it off nicely, and Galloway moves in line to get behind his teammate Riley Sampson, trying to push the 18 forward. Off of turn number 2, Steve Larker still leads from the pole, and down the backstretch of the race. And Sampson's going to move up. Here comes the 11 down low. Carter Friesen behind. Now Friesen looks to make it 3 wide for 2nd. Riley Sampson, can he get that surge of energy? No cars behind him to get that move made. But here comes Galloway, gets a push from the 13, Steve Morgan. He's going to get clear down low. And now 2 of the big 3 right now in line. Carter Friesen and Stephen Taylor in line the bottom lane. Are they going to work together, or are they going to try and shuffle each other out of line? Galloway moves up to cover the spot from his teammate in second. Meanwhile, Carter Friesen looking low for that second position. Steven Taylor shuffled 3 wide to the middle lane as Danny Lloyd, Galloway's teammate, comes forward. And so far, Steve Larker has led the opening 3 laps of the 75 car out front. Galloway second, Carter Friesen third, 4 wide, fourth on back. And Jeff Bright made a big 4 wide move there. He has Steven Taylor, one of them in the middle. TJ Henley all the way up top, falling back. As 3 cars pull away down the backstretch, Steve Larker, Jake Galloway, Carter Friesen. 1, 2, 3. Here comes Carter Friesen for the second position. This is really just going to slow them down, though. I think this is going to allow fourth and back to get a huge run up onto these front 2. And looks like Galloway stays clear anyway. See, a little bit tight there off into turn number 3. Carter Friesen got a big enough push from the 5 to get clear, or to get back underneath that 11 car as they come off of turn number 4. Looks like the 6 of Carson Bowers may be losing the draft. He started, remember, 42nd. Here they come, 3 wide through the tri-oval. Carter Friesen shoved to the high side. Jeff Bright went low, but Jake West went even lower. The 14 car. How about Octavo making it 4 wide for a second? Here comes the A3 car. Dale Lightning to the middle lane. Trey Rainey coming forward as the field bunched up. Here comes Jack Marshall. And so far, no one has touched Steve Larker. He's got out front. He's pulled away here as they come down the backstretch. That 4 wide racing in the pack, it's making me a little worried. They're getting really close down this backstretch. So they're leaning on each other. That second and third lane, they're bouncing off each other. They race off into turn 3. Octavo trying to stay clear right here to get a run from whichever lane has the run to try and get there and challenge the 75 of Steve Larker. They go through 3 and 4. Octavo trying to get the push from Jack Marshall, Taylor Ryan Price. Off of 4 they race. And down the front stretch, Steve Larker going to lead the 5th lap here at Talladega. 5 laps led in a row for Steve Larker here at Talladega. A very hard thing to do, but he's doing it right now from the pole. He's out front. But here comes the A3 of Octavo. He has a run. He has his friends with him. Jack Marshall coming forward. Taylor Ryan Price, Eli Bright. Front 5, single file. Now make it front 6 as Patrick Smith gets clear. Off of turn number 2. Wow. Price tried to block the 8 of Eli Bright off. Couldn't get that done. Eli all the way to the bottom lane. Does Octavo make a move? And the A3 is right on the bumper of Steve Larker. Jack Marshall gets up in line. The front 5 still, once again, single file. Patrick Smith moves up behind the 34. Here comes John Gambit, Justin Zeidel, Mac Johnson to the bottom lane. As the front 4 stays single file. Can anyone touch Steve Larker? Here they come off of 4. Taylor Ryan Price makes a move for 3rd. As the front 2 stays single file. Zeidel to the apron. Initial on the 20 car. He got down low, luckily, though. He's not going to hold the field up, it looks like. Oh, he merged back up. Wow, that car is out of control. Sideways through the tri-oval, sideways up onto the racetrack. Great job. Oh, your race leader's blown up. And around goes the 20 of Zeidel. Up into the back. Big one. The whole field involved. Zeidel with an apparent issue on the 20, and they're still stacking them up. Huge crash, and a lot of cars involved. Who gets away? Which chasers are involved? Which ones aren't? Racing back, a few cars get away. Octavo, one of them. Eli Bright in second. John Gambit, but as your race leader blows up, and as Zeidel has issues. Big incidents happening here as we race around to the caution flag. Luigi Octavo is going to lead Eli Bright, John Gambit, Patrick Smith, Jack Marshall, and Taylor Ryan Price to the caution. Larry Boucher Jr., Jay Jefferson looking for chasers. TJ Hanley may have gotten away. Luke Rainey, Danny Lloyd has gotten away. Looking for the 38 and the 31. Those are really 2 important chasers that could have been involved in this. Looks like Sebastian Kukulon heading to the pits. There's Taylor in the 31. Looking to see if he has damage. He might have some rear end. How's Cold Luigi doing? There's Friesen. So as we race back to the caution flag, your big 3 may have gotten away with one, but TJ Hanley is further up. So yellow is out early on. The field really spread out there. Back in front, Luigi Active on the A3. Has damage to a lot of cars. Griffin Lynn, one of them that could have gained on those front 3 in points. He might be done. Greg Lee has a ton of damage. There's Miller in pits. So a lot of cars involved. We'll see what happened. For caution number 1, just a bunch of shuffling with Zeidel. He was very sideways, and then he gets involved in the crash. So here's what we were talking about, Justin Zeidel. He's coming into the tri-oval. He's behind John Gambit. I don't know if he has maybe a tire go flat or something, but this car gets out of control. Look at him go high, low, sideways in the tri-oval, gets down the apron thinking he might have an issue, but then I think he kind of feels it out and says, okay, I'm fine, I'm still up to speed, and then he comes back up the racetrack, shoots back up the racetrack. As you'll see right here, darts back up, in line, trying to block off the 1 of Yepes. Yepes does a great job getting down low. The 20 now in the middle lane, shuffling back and forth. And then right here, off into the corner, Zeidel. and the one of Yepes, they just made contact. Like, Zidell just kept coming down to the one, and around he goes up into this field. Watch Griffin Lynn. There's Mac Johnson barely getting collected. Tyler Fink, Max Anderson, Dale Lightning. Levi Schoen's in the middle of all of it. Benny Watson and some cars come off the apron and get involved. And a ton of drivers involved in the big one here at Talladega. As cars come flying in, cars trying to miss it. See some cars got slowed up top. Great job there by all those drivers getting it slowed. And up ahead they had a second crash. But look at this in full speed first. Watch actually Zidell just darting back and forth. Almost won the truck race yesterday. Was about half a lap short of victory. Right there. And he comes back up the racetrack. Right there. You can see the car is very darty. Almost makes me think he had a tire go down or something. Or did the 75 put oil down? Because remember, he did just blow up immediately after this happened. I'm trying to see who came together there to cause that second part of the crash. My gosh, Benny Watson was sideways. It may have been the 96 of Stephen Baker, one of them that came together. It's like Marcus Sachi, Isaac Nichols. So you can see these guys missed the crash. And then getting down low, yeah, some cars come together. Andrew Miller, Isaac Nichols, and a few more go spinning. There's Watson slamming on the brakes. Oh, someone just... I think that might have been Greg Lee who got the damage from the 41 there. And it may be because he's smoking leaving the scene. And then we look at Steve Lark, who was up in front of this field. Looks like he had the best car today, leading the train around. And through 1 and 2, that car just explodes. Grenades there at the front. Luckily, no, those drivers got run over right there, back there. The big crash happens behind. And Larker's day done along with about maybe 15 cars involved in that big one. We'll go on board. Some of the drivers... watch Carson Bowers. Does he get into it there? It looks like he may have gotten it slowed down to where he missed it. If he did get damage, it was just very slight damage. So let's go on board. Steven Taylor in the 31. One of the big three. One of the drivers tied atop the points list. He's at the back of the field. In fact, all three of them were back here. Let's see the onboard from Taylor. Taylor did a great job there, just getting it slowed, making sure he wasn't going to get run over from behind and just misses all of the carnage. Great job there by Steven Taylor getting by that. It's great for his chase. Also, Carter Friesen in the 30, I think he went low to miss it. So Steven Taylor went high. I believe Carter Friesen right behind him went low. Let's see if Friesen got any damage from this. Everyone checks up. 38 will check up right here. Happens all behind him. He's sliding around, trying to get low, slamming on the brakes on that banking. There's Schoens, Max Anderson, Griffin Lynn. Looks like Carter Friesen gets away, just like the 31 did. TJ Hanley in the 23 was just ahead of these drivers, 1 lane lower, and I believe he did a great job missing this as well. Great job by TJ as well. He got low and got by, and he's going to be up further up than the 38 and the 31 in case they maybe get caught up in lap traffic. The 7 of Griffin Lynn involved, right behind what happened there. You see Zidell just crowding Yepes down. The one really had nowhere to go. And around everyone goes in that. There's Hanley getting by. Luke Rainey got by. Danny Lloyd may have gotten by. Just a ton of cars involved in the big one in turn 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Hanley's teammate and chaser, Luigi Octavo, leads us back to the caution flag. We stay on the racetrack, and Octavo is going to lead us back to the green flag. Coming back to the restart lap number 12, Luigi Octavo leads the field around Talladega. From that crash, the 55, Greg Lee is out along with Colton Yo. Griffin Lynn, this is really going to hurt his chase chances. He was one of them within a race of the front three. Nathan Steelton's looking for the Talladega sweep. Not going to happen here today. Tyler Fink, Justin Zidell. It was a tire issue on that 20 car. Remember, he got sideways in the tri-oval, kept it going straight. Possibly a flat tire, put him out of this race. Steve Larker leading the race. Camshaft issues hit him, and Diego Yepes also out. 34 cars on the racetrack. Some of them, though, do have some damage, so we might see some lap traffic impact how this race goes. Looking to see where the 38 and the 31 are. Carter Friesen currently scored 23rd. Steven Taylor 20th. And TJ Hanley in 10th. So Luigi Octavo will lead us back to the green flag. Eli Bright in 2nd. John Gamet 3rd. Patrick Smith 4th. Taylor Bryan Price 5th. They have Jack Marshall in 6th. Larry Bouchard Jr. 7th. Jay Jefferson 8th. Steve Morgan 9th. As we mentioned, TJ Hanley rounds up the top 10. So there are a few chasers ahead of TJ that he can gain points on. And Steven Taylor and Carter Friesen, it's going to be entertaining to see them try to march their way through the field as we're back racing, green flag back out, and the Camping World 500 at Talladega. Eli Bright jumps to the high side. Got a great restart there, trying to get up top of the A3 of Louis Octavio off into turn 1. It's going to hurt him. He's going to fall back. Here comes the 77 of John Gamet, trying to fill that hole to get to second. And Gamet's teammate, Jay Jefferson, finds his way back down the line. He's about, right now, 7th on the racetrack. So they come down the backstretch. Going to take them a full lap to get up to a full song. Down the backstretch, they race. Look at them already shuffling 3 and 4 wide. You just had the big crash happen, and they are not afraid to go 3 and 4 wide. Eli Bright trying to get the push from the 34 in the draft off the A3 to get clear. That's not going to happen. John Gamet stays to the bottom lane. Hanley the 23 going 4 wide up at the front as they come off turn number 4. John Gamet trying to look on Luigi Octavio for the race lead. He slides up the racetrack, trying to get the draft off the A3. Here comes Jack Marshall to the bomb. Jay Jefferson, Gamet's teammate, makes a 3 wide move for second. Through the tri-oval they come. Octavio still leads. Jay Jefferson to the inside for second. Jonathan Raines by him. Here comes Jeff Bright going 4 wide in the 5 car. Shuffling in the pack. Levi Schoen's the last car in this pack. Carter Fries and Steven Taylor have kept up to speed. So your front 3 still in this pack. Front 3 in points still in this pack. Down the backstretch, Jay Jefferson trying to get a push from Jeff Bright to get lined up. Jeff moves to the bottom lane. Doesn't want to help that 78 out. He wants to get up there for himself. He might have a push from the 95 of Trey Rainey. Carson Bowers, remember, he had lost the draft until that yellow came out. He's now in the front pack. That 6 car still has a shot at this thing. Jake Galloway, middle to the bottom lane. He found a hole down low. He's going to get down there. Can Jeff Bright make a move? Can he hang a left? No, Trey Rainey hang one first. And here comes Jake Galloway 3 wide to the bottom lane. That 11 car still looking for his first Gatorade Cup Series victory, but he's been so fast the last 10 races, he could have won one by now. Galloway looking for his first here at Talladega. Be a sweet place to get one. Talladega, one of the biggest races of the season for many of these teams and drivers. Jake Galloway gets clear of the 4 wide madness. He's up to second as Luigi Octavio leads the field around. Jonathan Beefer is up to third. Can he help the 11 out? Here comes Cole Luigi in the 42. Levi Schoens breaking low. Carter Friesen working his way back forward in the 38 car. Here's a push from Sebastian Kukala in the 3. Down the backstretch, that 33 car. To the back bumper, Hanley finds his hole down low in front of the 17 Larry Bouchard Jr. So here comes TJ. They go through 3 and 4. Jonathan Beefer in the 33. Up to second. But Levi Schoens has other plans. He drives to the bottom lane. Here comes Carter Friesen 3 wide. Broke low. He's going to get a run right here. Sebastian Kukala on the 3. TJ Hanley, Larry Bouchard Jr., Jake West, Eli Bright. As they go 4 wide now for a second. Kukala to the bottom lane. Octavio trying to block all 4 lanes now as the 3 car all the way to the bottom lane for second. Here's a push from TJ Hanley as well. Hanley wants to get up here and get every point he can. And Octavio is one of the drivers, even though it's his teammate, that's a point for TJ if he can get by him. And so far from what we've seen, the race leader has such a huge advantage here today. Steve Larker got out front and led, and now Octavio's out front. He has led since the restart. As they're going 3 wide for a second, Larry Bouchard Jr. to the bottom lane. Eli Bright behind him in the 88. Steven Taylor now working his way forward. Luke Rainey, Jay Jefferson. Here comes the 15, Taylor Brian Price back forward. The bail off turn number 4. Larry Bouchard Jr. trying to get underneath the A3. That's your Daytona 500 winner. Couldn't get it done there. He's going to get shuffled to the top side. Here comes Steven Taylor to the bottom of the 31. Through the tri-oval they go. Taylor to the bottom lane. Hanley shuffled 4 wide to the top. They might look 5 wide at the front. They are 5 wide. Beat and bang at the front. Can they get sorted out? Hanley trying to back out of that, and he does. They get back to 4 wide. Luke Ray was on the apron about trying to get it work. Cars in the walls. They go through 1 and 2. Levi Schoens and Jonathan Buford down to the wall. They drop back. Will they follow the pack? Down the backstretch. Still 4 wide. Luke Ray gets underneath the A3. Side by side for the race lead. Rainey gonna pass Luigi Octavio into turn 3. 2 car now out front at Talladega. That's another chaser. So the 33 has lost touch with the draft. The 10 of Levi Schoens, he is just on the edge of losing this draft. Taylor Brian Price now up to second. Octavio back to third. Now back to fourth as cars shuffle their way forward. Here comes the 19 of Danny Lloyd, the 34 Patrick Smith. There are a ton of chasers in this front pack. 13 laps of racing to go in the Camping World 500. It's led by the 2 of Luke Rainey. Here comes the 19 of Danny Lloyd up to second. 34 Patrick Smith. He's third. Down the backstretch of the race. Can Danny Lloyd make a move? No, the 34 did first. Now they're trying to get it sorted back out to 3 wide, triple file, and not 4 wide. You can see Octavio go to the middle lane. He went from the top to the middle lane trying to get a run. Danny Lloyd trying to stay clear of Patrick Smith, and he does. Front 3 right now are chasers. Trey Rainey, another chaser coming forward. Here comes Jack Marshall. Carter Friesen down low. In fact, there's not really many chasers not in this front field. Levi Schoens has caught back up after making contact with the turn 1 and 2 wall. He's still in this pack, but Jonathan Buford has lost touch. So currently with 12 to go, 10 of Levi Schoen's, the last one in this pack. 24 cars in this draft, but they do have some lap traffic ahead, like the 43, the 41. They're the first two they will catch, and they'll catch some others as well. And they're coming up onto the 43 of Andrew Miller. There he is. There's the 41 Marcus Sachi, and Sampson is a whole half a lap ahead of those two. So down the backstretch, which lane's going to get held up? Which lane's going to move forward? And are your championship contenders in the right lanes once we catch this lap traffic? See how the field really spread out there? Luke Rain wants to stay clear. He wants to stay in the race lead. He wants to be a race leader once we catch this lap traffic so that he can get into the right lane at the right time. See, cars trying to get down lower. They think that maybe the lower lanes are going to be the place to be. Jeff Bright going 3 wide for a second in the 5 car. Patrick Smith trying to block that off, but Jeff gets down there. 4 wide further back. TJ Hanley trying to move his way forward. To the stripe. 11 laps of racing to go at Talladega. Here they come on to Andrew Miller. They will catch him in the middle of 1 and 2. How's this going to play out? Luke Ray trying to go high. He stays down low. He goes high. He gets held up though. Danny Lloyd is going to get a huge run off the top side. Lloyd gets clear. Miller to the middle lane gets held up. Alexander gets clear. Luke Rainey trying to get clear. He finally does, but he loses the race. Leads back to 3rd. Jeff Bright, where are your championship contenders? Where's the 31, the 38? They're getting held up right now. Carter Fries and Steven Taylor are going to try and move low right here, but they're still stuck in the middle lane. The 38 gets by. The 31's going to get by, but now they're going to be further back. They have to get right back forward. Jay Jefferson and Luigi Octavo also held up, along with the 14 of Jake West. Octavo, he has dominated so far, but now he's falling back. Miller finally falls 3 wide, but Octavo moves back up behind him. But now, all focus is ahead to the next lap car. They will catch the 41 of Marcus Sachi. And the 2 cars that got away, they're going to get held up again. Here comes Alexander Rowe to the top side trying to get by. The 72 car. And look at the run that those drivers had. 72 off the top side gets clear. Here comes the 2 around the top. The 19 to the middle lane. The 23 going high. The TJ Hanley. Galway going low. Jonathan Raines held up in the middle lane. Cole Luigi going to get held up in the 42 as well. Off into turn 3. Cole Luigi going to try and get behind the top side. Jeff Bright as well. Car shuffling down low. Carter Fries and one of them. Here comes Steven Taylor. Eli Bright to the madness. Jeff Bright trying to get around the top side. He has to get up top of the 41. He does. Cars getting held up. Levi Schoens, Trey Rainey, Jonathan Raines. There's John Gambit. But up front, we're coming to 9 laps of racing to go. It is Luke Rainey back out front at Talladega, the Camping World 500, led by the 2 of Luke Rainey. They're shuffling, trying to get around the lap car still. Their next lap car they're going to catch is the 18 Riley Sampson. He's currently coming off turn number 4. They probably will not catch him. If they do, they'll catch him late in the race. He's not really too much slower. So down the backstretch, the field's been spread out. The 6 trying to keep touch with the pack. Has anyone lost touch with the pack because of this? No, in fact, everyone has still stayed. It's just spread the field out now. Be interested to see if the 6 can stay in touch. Here comes Sebastian Kukulon to the inside for a second. He has Danny Lloyd behind him. Jack Marshall, Cole Luigi, Steve Morgan, Jeff Bright coming forward. As they come off turn number 4. Luke Rainey out front. No challenge for him so far, but here comes Kukulon in the 3 car. And also, there's no challenge for him because no one's... It's all fanned out right now. They really have to get together. That's going to happen over the next few laps. We have only, what is it, 8 to go now. Kukulon has gotten to the back bumper of the 2 car. Danny Lloyd tried to get down low. Jack Marshall's down there. Pushed from Cole Luigi, Jeff Bright. Here comes Carter Friesen in the 38 car. He's going to try and get low with the 88 of Eli Bright. Can't get down in front of him. Down the backstretch of the race. 2 cars pull away. Sebastian Kukulon all over the back of the 2 of Luke Rainey. Carson Bowers has now lost touch with the draft once again, so that 6 car held up, and he was held up enough to where he is now out of the lead draft. Kukulon was looking low on the 2 there, but here comes the 2's teammate, Jack Marshall. He's going to try and get up here and help his teammate out. Remember, those are 2 drivers in the chase. Those are 2 points. Carter Friesen right now 3rd in the 38 car. Here comes Eli Bright. He's going to shuffle that 38 to the middle lane. That's going to allow Jack Marshall to try and close in on these front 2 through the tri-oval. 7 laps of racing to go at Talladega. Sebastian Kukulon staying in 2nd. 4 wide for 4th. Jake West to the bottom lane. Push from TJ Hanley. Eli Bright, Carter Friesen. Jeff Bright shuffled high. They come off turn number 2 now. Down the backstretch, does Kukulon have enough of a run to get by the 2 of Luke Rainey? Down the back they come. Front 3, single file. Here they come 4th on back. TJ Hanley. Jack Marshall makes a move on the 3 of Kukulon. Gonna try and make it a Penske 1-2. And he did that perfectly. He waited to make the move at the end of the backstretch so that 3 could not get the draft off the 2. Jack Marshall gonna move to the 2nd position. It's now a Penske 1-2 at the front. It's a Ford 1-2-3 as Jake West moves low in the 14. Here comes Jay Jefferson. He's going to shuffle the 23 out. The 31 gets shuffled up at the 15. Through the tri-oval. 6 laps of racing to go. Luke Rainey looking for his first victory on the season. He's won at least one race every Gatorade Cup Series season he's been in. But now he has a whole pack of cars coming behind him. Jake West, Taylor Bryan Price, Jonathan Rains, Danny Lloyd, hungry for a race victory. Down the backstretch. Here comes West. He's in line with that 2 car, but he doesn't have a push. Once again, there's just no organization second on back, and that leader got out front. It's going to be hard to beat him. We're coming around to 5 laps of racing to go. That'll be a big mark for the race leader because he knows if a yellow comes out, the race would be over. So here they come off of turn number 4. We're coming to see 5 laps of racing to go. Jonathan Rains tried to block off the 19 and Danny Lloyd. In fact, now he makes it 3 wide for the second position. Lloyd to the bottom lane. Steve Morgan has his push as they come through the tri-oval. 5 to go. Yellow would end it. 4 wide for second. Steve Morgan to the bottom. They're shuffling all over the place. Cars moving high and low. This is just not going to end right. I don't see it ending right. Steve Morgan up to second. Jeff Bright up to third. Down the backstretch, the 13 trying to get in the draft of the 2 car. Trying to stay clear of the 5 of Jeff Bright. Octavo through the middle lane trying to get clear. Jake Gowing the 11. Trey Rain the 95. Off into turn 3. Steve Morgan with that run from the 2 car gets clear of the 5. Now, can he get by the 2? As they go through 3 and 4. Steve Morgan all over the back of the 2. Luke Rain doesn't hang a left as they come up 4. Morgan to the inside of the 13. Down the front stretch. He has Octavo with him. The A3, one of the better cars here today. Through the tri-oval they come. Steve Morgan leads with now 4 laps of racing to go. But Luke Rainey battling back at the outside. They have the 18 out of Riley Sampson. Off into turn 1. Which lane's going to go? Through 1 and 2. They're still side by side. The 2 fighting hard on the top side. He knows he might have to keep the race lead to win this race. But Steve Morgan clears. He moves up high. Down the backstretch. And now which lane's going to get held up? Which lane's going to move? Carter Friesen looking 3 wide for the race lead down the backstretch. He thinks he wants to be the race leader once they catch this lap traffic. Riley Sampson ahead. Here they come onto him. Through 3 and 4. There's 3 wide for the race lead. Carter Friesen gonna get clear. He has any lane he can move around to now. As they go through 3 and 4. Off of 4, Friesen's gonna move to the bottom lane. Sampson gonna hold up the middle lanes. Eli Brett gets away in the 88. The 18 now holding up some drivers as the field is packed together. The 18 holding up the 23. TJ Hanley's one of them getting held up. Price can move down, trying to at least, with the 18 holding up 2 of your big 3. As Eli Brett looking for his 4th win this season. It'd be a second in a row. He's side by side with Carter Friesen. But now some drivers getting held up. The 18 Riley Sampson. A car blowing up. It's the 41. He pulls low. Will that bring out the caution flag? Friesen back for the race lead. No yellow. We're still green. Andrew Miller is ahead once again. They will catch that 43 car. Through 3 and 4, Carter Friesen back to the lead. We're coming to 2 to go. Carter Friesen leads at Talladega, looking to get back to the points lead. He moves low. Miller moves high. Eli gets held up along with a few others. Coming to the stripe. 2 laps of racing to go. Carter Friesen is away. 2 laps left at Talladega. A few cars get away. This might be their only shot. It may be down to these 6 drivers. Carter Friesen, Steve Morgan, Patrick Smith, Jeff Wright, Sebastian Kukulon, Danny Lloyd might be the only drivers that have a shot. The rest of these drivers on back just trying to gain any point they can, especially drivers like TJ Hanley and Steven Taylor, who've been held up by these 2-lap cars. Now that's a tough break for those 2. They're up in the front of the pack, and you obviously hate to see lap cars impact the outcome of this race. Meanwhile, at the front, for the lead, Steve Morgan beside Carter Friesen, as they will come off turn number 4. A 6-car out the front. We're coming to the white flag and the Camping World 500. Here they come, 3 wide for the lead. Looking 4 wide for the lead. Sebastian Kukulon. Morgan gets clear. Which lane's going to go? It's going to be Friesen's lane with his teammate Patrick Smith. The white flag is waving. Last lap at Talladega for Carter Friesen and Patrick Smith. Dale Lighting moves up. He blocks Jeff Bright. As they go off into 1 and 2, I don't see Patrick Smith getting a run on Carter Friesen. It may be a 1-2 finish. It may be Carter Friesen back to the points lead as they come off turn number 2. Down the backstretch for the final time. Patrick Smith, can he get a run on his teammate to make a move for the win? Off into turn number 3. He's in the draft. He would need a miraculous run as they go through 3 and 4. Patrick Smith looking, trying to get in that draft of Carter Friesen. He has a run. Kenny hanging a left off of turn number 4 to get to the start-finish line front. Off of turn number 4, he hangs that left. Teammates down the front stretch, side by side to the start-finish line. Carter Friesen up top. Patrick Smith down low. To the stripe they come. Side by side to the stripe. It's going to be Carter Friesen off the top to win. over Patrick Smith. And that is big for Friesen towards his championship. Carter Friesen wins the Camping World 500 at Talladega by 100th over teammate Patrick Smith. And that is big for Carter Friesen. That is the max amount of points he could have gained. And Carter Friesen wins the Camping World 500 over Patrick Smith. Let's now go check the finishing results and see how the chase was affected. Here are the finish results in the Camping World 500 at the Talladega Superspeedway. There was one caution flag for 4 laps, only 5 lead changes among 5 different drivers. Definitely a race where it was hard to pass the race leader, but Carter Friesen gets done at the end, just being out his teammate Patrick Smith to the finish line. Smith ends up 2nd, Steve Morgan 3rd, Sebastian Kugelheim 4th, and Jeff Bright rounds out the top 5. Then you have Danny Lloyd in 6th, Code Luigi 7th, Trey Rainey 8th, Luke Rainey 9th, he tied for the most laps led, and Jake West rounds out the top 10. There's your top 20, and you see some chasers down here. Octave obviously leading the most laps, 9, he ends up 17th, but 2 drivers came into this race tied among the points list. Steven Taylor, TJ Hanley, 19th and 20th, and they lose a ton of points to Carter Friesen, and also other drivers now closing in on that points lead. Look down now, 21st to 4th, but man, Carter Friesen, it's going to be hard to beat him for this championship. He just gained a ton of points on so many drivers here. Let's look down at the rest. At the right side of the point standings, Carter Friesen pulling away, and with only 2 races left, it's going to be hard to beat him, but anything can happen. Atlanta Homestead left, a lot can happen here in this championship. So as we look ahead, the next race will be held at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Golden Corral 500. I'll see you guys then.